Welcome to the James Johnston Football Channel.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is just a catch-up video we're doing for everything that we've missed over the Christmas period. Apologies for not doing the videos over Christmas. I was unwell and I didn't want to subject Tom to doing it by himself. You know, it's quite hard to do with two people, so I wouldn't want him flying solo and doing the videos. So this is just a brief recap of what we've predicted and catching you up on the thoughts of everything that's gone on. Thanks. So in the first week that we missed, Manchester City played Everton and Manchester City won that game 3-1. I predicted 2-1 to Manchester City. Tom predicted 3-1 to Manchester City. So Tom got the 30 points for the correct scores. I got 10 points. Crystal Palace then played Leicester. Palace won that game 1-0. I predicted 1-0 to Leicester. Tom predicted 1-1, so nobody got any points there. Huddersfield then played Newcastle, which was a 1-0 win to Newcastle. I predicted that Newcastle would win 2-1. Tom predicted that the game would end 1-1. So I got 10 points, he got no points there. Burnley then played Spurs in a 1-0 victory for Spurs. I predicted Spurs. Tom predicted Spurs to win 3-0, so there's 10 points each for us there. Watford then went to play Cardiff. It was a 3-2 win for Watford. I predicted 2-2, so I got nothing. Tom predicted 2-1 to Watford, so he got 10 points. Wolves then played Bournemouth and won 2-0. I predicted 2-1 to Wolves. Tom predicted 2-1 to Bournemouth, so I get the 10 points there. Tom gets nothing. Fulham then played West Ham. It was a 2-0 win to West Ham. I predicted West Ham to win 3-1, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted Fulham to win it 3-2, so nothing there. Brighton then went on to play Chelsea. It was a 2-1 win for Chelsea. I predicted 2-0 Chelsea. Tom also predicted 2-0 Chelsea, so 10 points there for each of us. Southampton then went to play Arsenal. The less said about this, the better. Me and Tom both predicted 3-1 to Arsenal, and Arsenal lost 3-2. Yeah, lovely. And then Liverpool went on to play Manchester United. It was a 3-1 win to Liverpool. I predicted Man U would win this 2-1 and it would save Jose Mourinho's job. Boy, was I wrong. So I got nothing there. Tom predicted a 4-1 win to Liverpool, so he got the 10 points. So ending that week, I ended up with 60 points. Tom ended up with 70 points, and it put our scores at myself. I have 1,180, and Tom has 1,120. The player of the week for that week I gave to Robert Snodgrass of West Ham. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for West Ham this season, and in the game against Fulham, he was absolutely sensational. The worst player of that week, I give it to Bernd Leno of Arsenal. When you're a goalkeeper and you come to collect a cross, you have to make sure you get that ball, and Bernd Leno failed in that. For the goal of the week, I gave it to Luka Mojlajevic of Crystal Palace. He scored an absolute screamer against Leicester, so yeah, that's why he's in there. Yes, as stated, this was previously the week that Jose Mourinho was finally sacked and relieved of his duties as Man United manager, and I've got a video here of how I believe he walked back into the dressing room at Carrington to tell the players what had happened.
That's it. I've been made redundant. Yeah.
In the next week, Wolves played Liverpool and it was a 2-0 win for Liverpool. I predicted 2-1, so got the 10 points. Tom predicted 1, also got nothing. Arsenal then went on to play Burnley and it was a 3-1 win for Arsenal. I predicted 2-1 to Arsenal, so I got 10 points. Tom predicted 3-1 to Arsenal, so he got the full 30 points. Bournemouth played Brighton in a 2-0 win for Bournemouth. I predicted 3-1 to Bournemouth, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted 2-1 to Bournemouth, so he got the 10 points also. Chelsea then went to play Leicester. It was a 1-0 win for Leicester. I predicted 2-0 to Chelsea, so ended up with nothing. Tom predicted 2-0 to Chelsea, so ended up with nothing as well. Huddersfield then went to play Southampton, and it was a 3-1 win for Southampton. I predicted 2-0 to Southampton, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted 2-1 to Huddersfield, so ended up with nothing. Manchester City went on to play Crystal Palace, and it was a 3-2 win for Crystal Palace. Who would have predicted that? I said 3-0 to Man City, so I ended up with nothing. Tom said that Manchester City would absolutely tonk Crystal Palace 5-0, so he ended up with nothing also. Newcastle went on to play Fulham. It was a 0-0 draw. I predicted that it would be a Desmond's, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted it would be 2-1 to Newcastle, so he ended up with nothing. West Ham went and played Watford, and it was a 2-0 win for Watford. I did 2-1 to West Ham, ended up with nothing. Tom did 2-1 to Watford, so ended up with 10 points. Cardiff went and played Manchester United in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. It was a 5-1 win for Manchester United. I bet that this would be a 1-1 draw. I thought he would have a tough time getting into Manchester United. Boy, was I wrong again. Tom predicted a 2-0 win for Man U, so he got the 10 points there. And then Everton went and played Spurs and beat them 6-2. I predicted a 2-1 win for Spurs, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted it would be a 2-2 draw. So for the end of that week, I ended up with 80 points. Tom ended up with 60 points. So that puts me at 1,260, and Tom is at 1,180. The player of the week for this week I gave to David Brooks. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal against Brighton, and I feel that this season, with him on this one wing and Ryan Fraser on the other for Bournemouth, they've got a very, very formidable midfield. These two have been absolutely sensational for them. The worst player of the week I gave to Jordan Pickford. He led in the 6 goals against Spurs, and the first goal, the communication between him and Kurt Zouma was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking. The goal of the week for that week, it's only one winner, isn't it? And it's so far the best goal scored this season, and that's Andros Townsend. Here's a little clip if you haven't seen it already. Crystal Palace here, whipping the free kick in. It's cleared. Cleared badly. It's come out. Andros Townsend! Oh, get fucked. Absolutely get fucked. And look at him, he's absolutely chuffed to buggery with that. He's hugged that man, Wan-Bissaka. Milivojevic has come in for a hug. They're all hugging, and here it is again. Get fucked. There it is. Absolutely sensational. One more time. Straight from the get fucked camera. Oh, yes. Unbelievable goal. And another angle of it. Just get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. And again. Get fucked. There it is. Going into the third week now, and Fulham ended up playing Wolves in a 1-1 draw. I predicted that Wolves would win 2-0, as did Tom, so he ended up with no points there. Burnley then played Everton in a 5-1 win to Everton. I predicted that Everton would win 2-1. Tom predicted that Everton would win 3-1, so we both got the 10 points there. Crystal Palace played Cardiff in a 0-0 draw. I predicted Palace would win 2-1. Tom predicted Palace would win 2-0, so there's no points for either of us there. Leicester played Manchester City, and Manchester City lost again. They lost 2-1 this time. I predicted Man City would win 3-1. Tom predicted they'd win 3-0, so no points for either of us there. Liverpool then went to play Newcastle, and it was a 4-0 win for Liverpool. I predicted 3-1 to Liverpool, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted that it'd be 1-1, so he ended up with nothing. Man United then went and played Huddersfield in a 3-1 win for Manchester United. I predicted that Man U would win 4-1. Tom predicted they'd win 2-1, so we got 10 points each. Bournemouth then lost to Spurs 5-0. I predicted that Spurs would win 3-2. Tom predicted they'd win 3-1, so we both got the 10 points there. Brighton then played Arsenal in a 1-1 draw. Again, the less said about that, the better. I predicted Arsenal win 2-1, as did Tom, so we both ended up with nothing there. Watford then played Chelsea. It was a 2-1 win to Chelsea. I predicted Chelsea would win 2-1, so I got the 30 points. Tom predicted that it would be 1-1. So we ended up with nothing. Then Southampton played West Ham. West Ham won that game 2-1. I predicted Southampton to continue their new momentum and win 2-1, so ended up with nothing. And Tom predicted they'd win 2-0, so he ended up with nothing as well. So for the week, I got 70 points, which put me at 1,330 points. And Tom got 30 points, which puts him at 1,210 points. The player of the week for that week was Lucas Digne from Everton. He had an absolutely brilliant game versus Burnley, and he's been pivotal for Everton this season. The worst player of the week I gave to Fabian Delph for Manchester City. He got the red card versus Leicester, and him at left back with Mendy gone is really proving a bit of a problem for Manchester City now. The goal of the week was in the same game. I gave it to Ricardo Pereira of Leicester. It was an absolutely fantastic strike, again coming from a badly defended set piece by Manchester City. This next week, unfortunately, Tom didn't send me any of his scores, and we've since reconvened and discussed, and yeah, he completely forgot to do it. I'll read you mine though. So Brighton versus Everton, it was 1-0 to Brighton. I did 1-1, so got nothing there. Fulham versus Huddersfield, I did it was 1-0 to Fulham, sorry. I did 2-0 to Fulham, so I got the 10 points. Leicester versus Cardiff, it was 1-0 Cardiff. I did 3-1 to Leicester, so nothing there. Spurs versus Wolves, it ended up being a 3-1 win to Wolves. I did Spurs to win 2-1, so got nothing there. Liverpool versus Arsenal, it was 5-1 to Liverpool. Again, the less said about that, the better. I did 2-1 to Arsenal, got nothing there. Palace versus Chelsea, it was a 1-0 Chelsea win. I did 1-0 to Chelsea, so I got the 30 points there. Burnley versus West Ham, it was a 2-0 win for Burnley. I did 2-1 to West Ham, so nothing there. Southampton versus Manchester City, I did 3-1 to Manchester City, ended up being 3-1, so 30 points there. And Man U versus Bournemouth was 4-1 to Man United. I did 3-1 to Man U, so it's 10 points there. So for that week, I would have got 80 points. However, because Tom didn't do his scores or send them to me, I've not included those points to our overall totals, so that's that. The player of the week for that week I've given to Paul Pogba. In the game versus Bournemouth, he was absolutely immaculate. He scored his goals, he got a few assists, and he really is, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a rejuvenated man. We're starting to see the Paul Pogba that we all knew was there. The worst player of the week I've given to Fulham's Abubakar Kamara. He took the ball for the penalty away from Alexander Mitrovic, turned into a bit of a fisticuffs, and apparently they've since had fights on the training ground after yoga sessions. Yoga's meant to be relaxing and therapeutic, but these two see it as a chance for more sparring. Obviously, you know why he got it. He took the penalty off the designated penalty kick taker, and he missed it. So that's why he's there. And the goal of the week I've given to Cardiff's Victor Camarasa. It was an absolutely sublime goal versus Leicester that gave them the 1-0 win. Going into the fifth week of the predictions now, Everton played Leicester and it was a 1-0 win for Leicester. I predicted 2-1 to Everton, Tom predicted 1-0, so there's no points there. Arsenal then played Fulham. It was a 4-1 win to Arsenal. I predicted 4-1, so got the 30 points. Tom predicted 5-1 to Arsenal, so got the 10 points. Cardiff played Spurs. It was a 3-0 win for Spurs. I did 2-0 to Spurs, so 10 points. Tom did 3-1, so he also got 10 points there. Bournemouth played Watford in a 3-3 draw. I did 2-2, so I got 10 points. Tom did 1-1, so he got 10 points as well. Chelsea then played Southampton, then 0-0 draw. I did 2-1 to Chelsea, so I ended up with nothing. Tom did 2-0 Chelsea as well, so I ended up with nothing. Huddersfield versus Burnley was a 2-1 Burnley win. I did 2-0 to Burnley. Tom did 1-0 to Huddersfield, so I got 10, he got nothing. West Ham then played Brighton in a 2-2 draw. I did 1-1, so I got the 10 points. Tom did 2-1 to West Ham, so he got nothing. Wolves then played Palace in a 2-0 Palace win. I did 3-1 to Wolves, so ended up with nothing. Tom did 2-0 to Wolves and ended up with nothing as well. Then Newcastle played Manchester United in a 2-0 Man U win. I did 3-1 to Man U, so I got 10 points. Tom did 2-0 to Man U, so he got the 30. And then Man City played Liverpool in a 2-1 win. I did 2-1 to Man City, so I got 30 points. Tom did 3-1 to Man City, so I ended up with 10 points. So for that week, I got 100 points, which puts me at 1,430 points. Tom got 70, which puts him at 1,280. The player of the week for that week, I gave to Watford's Troy Deeney. I thought he was absolutely superb versus Bournemouth. It was just an old-school classic centre-forward. He absolutely marshalled Bournemouth's defence and made himself a complete nuisance all game long. Fantastic play from him. The worst player of the week I've given to Huddersfield's Christopher Schindler. So yes, Schindler has finally made the list.
You just made the list!
And the goal of the week went to Manchester City's Sergio Aguero. It was the first goal in the game between them and Liverpool, and it was an absolutely massive goal to get. He took it classily, as he always does, and he proves why he is the best striker in the Premier League. Then coming into this sixth and final week of this catch-up video, West Ham played Arsenal in a 1-0 win for West Ham. I predicted Arsenal to win 3-1, as did Tom, so we both ended up with nothing. It's a diabolical state of affairs at Arsenal at the moment, and this game compounded that. They looked clueless of ideas, void of creativity. When we got the chances that we did actually create, the finishing was absolutely terrible from our two main strikers, as well as Iwobi, who should have tucked his chance in. I hope that patience is given towards Emery, and hopefully, you know, with all this stuff behind the scenes as well, the people that are ruining the club are eventually phased out or are forced to actually dip into their pockets and spend the money needed to rejuvenate this club. Brighton then played Liverpool in a 1-0 win for Liverpool with the typical Mo Salah dive and penalty goal. I predicted a 3-1 to Liverpool. so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted 2-1 to Liverpool, so he got the 10 points as well. Burnley then played Fulham in a 2-1 win for Burnley. I predicted 2, also ended up with nothing. Tom predicted 1, also ended up with nothing. Cardiff then played Huddersfield in a 0-0 draw. I actually backed Cardiff to win this 2-0. Tom backed Huddersfield to win it 2-1, so we both got nothing there. Crystal Palace then played Watford in a 2-1 win for Watford. I actually predicted 2-1 to Watford, so I got the 30 points. Tom predicted 1-0, so he ended up with nothing. Leicester then played Southampton in a 2-1 win for Southampton. I backed Leicester to win 2-0, and Tom backed Leicester to win 2-0, so they ended up with nothing. Chelsea then played Newcastle in a 2-1 win for Chelsea. I predicted Chelsea to win this 3-1, so I got the 10 points. Tom predicted them to win 2-0, so he got the 10 points as well. Everton then played Bournemouth in a 2-0 win to Everton. I predicted 2-1 to Bournemouth. Tom predicted 3-0 to Everton, so he got the 10 there. I got nothing. Tottenham then played Manchester United in a 1-0 win for the Manchester United. The Solskjaer revolution, I guess, continues. I predicted this to be a 1-1 draw, so I ended up with nothing. Tom predicted United to win it 2-1, so he got the 10 points. Wolves then played Manchester City, and City won this 3-0. I predicted City to win 3-1, so I got 10 points. Tom predicted 4-0 to Manchester City, so he got 10 points. So on the end of that week, I ended up with 60 points, and Tom ended up with 50 points. So that puts me on 1,490, and Tom on 1,330. The player of the week for this week has to go to David De Gea for his performance against Spurs. Okay, the majority of the shots were straight down his Dartford, but he still had to make those saves, and he was absolutely incredible. The worst player of the week I've given to Jamie Vardy. Although I called Salah out for diving earlier, Jamie Vardy had the worst one against Southampton. It was an absolutely ridiculous dive. The goal of the week for this week I've given to Chelsea's Willian. I thought he took his goal incredibly well and bent that in superbly against Newcastle. So that's it for the catch-up video. I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going back to the normal routine now with the normal usual weekly videos, unless of course I get extremely ill again. Apologies for that happening. You know, I can't help it. That's the way of the world sometimes. It's a shit business and I don't miss it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.